What's going on, guys? So we are back. This is week number 3 of the Dunsparces and Dragonites Pokemon Draft League. I am this week facing off against Jmac and the Toronto Staraptors, or Staraptors, or however you want to pronounce it. I always said Staraptor. Right now, so it's actually Monday when I'm recording this. It's about an hour before the match. I have some fairly important things going on a little later this week. Talked it over with Jmac, and we decided to just go ahead and have the match on Monday. We decided on this late last night, so I haven't had a lot of time to build potential teams that he might run, test them out, so on and so forth. I haven't even tested the team that I've run yet, but we'll see how we go. Obviously, real life kind of takes a little bit of priority, so I just kind of have to roll with that. But as far as his team, I will go ahead and go over his team really quick, and then I'll kind of explain why I built what I built. So his 3 OU picks were Jirachi, Conkeldurr, and then Pinsir, who is actually his Mega. He then picked Vaporeon, Donphan, and Chandelure for his UU picks. Jolteon, Druddigon, and Granbull for the RU picks, and then Cradily, Regigigas, and Skuntank for his NU, PU, Little Cup, not fully evolved, etc. picks. So that's what he's running. As always, running the same kind of team, or the same team that we were last week. No trades have been made, anything like that. We only get 3 trades in a season anyways, and seeing as how it's week 3, and I have 15 weeks before playoffs, and I've used up 2 of my trades already, I'm kind of holding off on the last one until I see if what would make my team synergize a little bit better. With that being said, I'm going to run over our team really quick. So, first off, we have Bun Bun, the Mega Lopunny. It's relatively similar to last week. We're still running the Fake Out and the Return just because of the stab power that it's got on it. I'm running Fire Punch because looking over his team, the only things that really don't want to take an Ice Punch are Donphan, Druddigon, and Cradily. Now, there are power there. There is a lot of power there. Donphan's very, very strong. Same with Druddigon. But Fire Punch helps take out the Jirachi, helps take out the Pinsir, helps take out the Cradily, and I can run Ice moves on another Pokemon, or moves that are going to better counter those 3 right there on other Pokemon. So that's why I chose to run Fire Punch. And then I'm running Protect. And I'm running Protect because I think that's been a mistake I haven't done the last few weeks, is scouting out moves. If I can scout out a move, I can figure out a good switch in for that move. So that's the reason we ran that. We are running 252 speed, 252 attack, 4 special defense, minus special attack, so he's an adamant Mega Lopunny. The reason that I ran the speed is because I believe, if I've calced it right, I will outspeed a Choice Scarf Jirachi. It's very, very, it's minimal points. I would outspeed it by 2 points, but I believe I will outspeed it. Maybe I'm wrong. Jirachi is only 100 base speed, but that's the reason why I'm running 252 speed. Next, we have Flash, our Arcanine. I'm going ahead and running Life Orb again, but I'm not running Intimidate, because while he does have a couple of really powerful physical attackers on the field, that Chandelure, the Regigigas actually can run, I believe, Fire Blast. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Again, I was doing this late last night. But just the Chandelure, it's a perfect switch-in for the Chandelure. You want to try to Will-O-Wisp me? That's perfectly fine. You Will-O-Wisp me, I'll get that Fire Boost, and then I can get you out in another way. We're running Life Orb on him. That's pretty standard for Arcanine. With Extreme Speed, the reason I'm running the Wild Charge on him is because of that Chandelure. Because Extreme Speed won't hit Chandelure because he's part Ghost. Flare Blitz, if he's Flash Fire Chandelure, essentially at that point we're just buffing each other up. So we're running the Wild Charge for the Chandelure. We're also running it for the Vaporeon. Worst case scenario, if the Chandelure's still around, I could still run it if Pinsir's out, just because I don't want to risk like I said, the Flash Fire Chandelure. The only thing is, if he brings Donphan, that's less of an option for me. But we're primarily running it for the Vaporeon anyways, because Arcanine will outspeed Vaporeon unless Vaporeon is scarfed. As far as this, it's almost the exact opposite of the way that Lopunny is. I chose instead to run a positive speed nature on Arcanine just so I get that extra speed boost, because I feel like that's going to be clutch. Oh yeah, we're also running a Flare Blitz and Morning Sun. I don't know why I forgot to mention that. Flare Blitz, obvious. Morning Sun just for the heal recovery. So we are running 252 speed, 252 attack, 4 special defense, but we are getting the speed boost, so I did decide to make him Jolly, just in the hopes that we can outspeed a little bit, because typically if he gets hit, he's going down. Next we have Thor, our Thunderous Therian form. That's a lot of T's. We're going leftovers. Obviously, I don't have a choice with the Volt Absorb, but the nice thing is Jolteon can't do a whole lot to Thundurus. So if for whatever reason I'm predicting he brings Jolteon in and I predict a Volt Switch, even if Jolteon is Volt Absorb, I have ways of getting it out. It doesn't have ways of getting me out. So he can try. He can do the whole, HP Ice. I'm still going to hit him way harder than he's going to hit me. And at that point, that might actually be a point. I believe Volt Absorb, yeah, it still heals me, so I can spend a turn doing a nasty plot and then Psychic. And that right there is primarily why I'm running the set on him that I am. I am running the Volt Switch. Last week I didn't run any sort of regular electric moves on him. I only ran Volt Switch. And I feel like that kind of came around to bite me in the ass, because if I have Nasty Plot up, I don't want to be getting rid of Thundurus. If I can help it, I don't want to get rid of him. So that's why I'm also running Thunderbolt on this Thundurus, so that if I can get a Nasty Plot up and I don't want to get him out, I can go ahead and Thunderbolt. Or if he brings out Donphan or he brings out Jolteon, I can go ahead and go for the Psychic. I don't think he has anything else that is immune to Electric. The Druddigon will resist it, but what can you do at that point? So we're running Volt Switch, Nasty Plot, Psychic, and Thunderbolt. And then as far as his stats, we are going 252 Special Attack, 252 Speed, 4 Special Defense, minus Attack, plus Special Attack. So we got a modest Thundurus going on here. I really think he's going to put in a little bit more work than he did last week, and he put in a good chunk of work last week. So we'll see how it goes. Next, I'm running Braviary, Merica, the Braviary, Life Orb, Sheer Force. I'm running Brave Bird on him. I had an option between Sheer Force and Defiant, but I don't think he's going to be going for stat-lowering moves. It's not too horribly common. And then obviously Keen Eye is completely useless because you can't use evasion-lowering techniques in draft leagues anyways. We're going Brave Bird on him just because of the power behind it. I'm going Protect once again because of the ability to scout out moves. Roost just for the heal recovery, and Return for extra power that's not going to damage me, I guess. I'll still take damage from the Life Orb, but I'm fine with taking damage from the Life Orb. I chose to do something a little bit different with this Braviary. Because he's got pretty high base attack anyways, I'm going to go ahead and run a defensive Braviary. So that's why we're running 252 defense, 252 special defense, 4 attack, and then we are going plus special defense, minus special attack, because his base speed is low enough that I'm not going to need to worry about outspeeding anything, because I'm not. I'm not going to outspeed anything if it's speed invested. Special defense just because I'm really expecting HP Ice off of the Jolteon. I'm expecting Thunderbolt off the Jolteon. I'm expecting Ice Beam off the Vaporeon. I'm expecting a number of things off of different Pokemon that are all special defensive moves. So that's why we went ahead and put the boost in special defense instead of in defense. We'll see how it goes. Once again, this is only the second time I've brought Braviary. A lot of times he gets brought just as hazard removal. I'm kind of hoping that my opponent thinks that's why I've got him now, is because of hazard removal. He does not have defog on him, obviously, as you've seen, but having him show up in my lineup will make my opponent think about setting up hazards. He has a couple of mons on his team that can set up hazards, but I don't think he's going to if he sees Braviary out there. Next, we have the Spoon is a Lie. I think I named him There Is No Spoon last week. He is our Alakazam. We're obviously still running Focus Sash Magic Guard on him. We are running Dazzling Gleam, number one because of the Druddigon, because I'm not running Ice Punch on Mega Lopunny, I need to run something that can hit care of Druddigon. So we're running the Dazzling Gleam. We're running Recover, because if I can get it set up where I get a good switch in on him, my opponent chooses a switch and I go for Recover, if I didn't lose my Sash, I can regain it back. So it's going to be nice. Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball right here is primarily for the Chandelure, but he puts in a little bit of work against Jirachi. A Shadow Ball is going to hurt both Vaporeon and Jolteon. It's probably not going to one-hit KO, but it's going to hurt. It's going to whittle him down. And then finally, we're doing Toxic. We're doing Toxic primarily because I can Toxic Stall if I need to. That's one thing I noticed in my first week against Greg, is Greg Rain Regenerator Core. Stalling is a valid tactic sometimes. I don't want to play that way necessarily, but if I'm going to Toxic Stall a single Pokemon out, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to Toxic, Dragon Tail, Toxic, Dragon Tail. I'm not going to do anything like that, where I just Toxic all members of his team, but if I can Toxic Stall a single Pokemon to death, I'm fine with that. As for his stats, we're running 252 speed, 252 special attack. Actually makes Alakazam the second fastest on my team, right after Lopunny. And then we're running 4 in special defense. We went ahead and made him timid, so he's plus speed, minus attack, correction. That actually makes him the fastest on my team. That's why I ran that. Again, guys, I did this at 1 in the morning last night. So, he outspeeds Lopunny by 3 points, and Lopunny outspeeds everything on my opponent's team, unless it's Scarfed. Again, with Scarfed Lopunny, I can't do that, because it's in my Mega. I have to bring it as my Mega. So yeah, we're going to see how that works. I'm very excited to see Alakazam potentially put in some work this week, especially with Magic Guard, because I don't think he has anything with Synchronize, but I've played a couple of matches last week with Alakazam where I Toxiced, and then somebody tried to Synchronize me, and it doesn't matter. You go ahead and poison me, and I'm not taking damage. And then finally, our last Pokemon of the week, I am bringing Imastar, the Omastar. We are running Focus Sash on him as well. We are allowed to bring the same item on 2 Pokemon, so that's why I'm running Focus Sash on Alakazam and on Omastar. The only difference is that Omastar is so slow, so he's going to need the Focus Sash. And then we're running the Shell Armor on him just to... he's obviously very, very defensive. He wouldn't go down to a crit because of the Focus Sash, but if he takes 30%, I don't want him going down to a second crit because of it. He is my hazards, because looking at my opponent's team, Jirachi can get hit by Stealth Rocks and Spikes. Conk gets hit by everything. Mega Pinsir does not want to switch in on Stealth Rocks. He just doesn't want to do it. And even better, if I can get Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes up, Pinsir will switch in, get hit with the Spikes, the Toxic Spikes rather, Mega Evolve. If I can get him back out, then he'll be poisoned, and he'll take the Stealth Rock damage upon re-entry. So, that'll be kind of nice. Hi, Kitty Cat. I'm recording. Go away. So, the Pinsir's not going to appreciate Spikes. Vaporeon and Chandelure are definitely... Well, Chandelure might not take damage to Spikes. I don't remember. I think he does. The only thing that would worry me is seeing the Skuntank, because Skuntank will absorb the Toxic Spikes. But as far as that goes, I really feel like Mega Pinsir is his win condition, because he can just go for the Air Slash. Mega Pinsir and Jirachi. Jirachi obviously won't take damage to the Toxic Spikes anyways, because he's part Steel type. But the more work that I can put in as far as that goes, if I can get rid of one of his win conditions, it's going to make it a little easier for me. So that's the reason why I'm bringing Omastar this week, because bringing Omastar means that he's not going to want to potentially... He's going to have to really think about his switches if I can manage to get hazards up. And with Focus Sash, I'm getting one layer of hazards up anyways. It's just a matter of what. The reason I'm running Protect on him is because if I can manage to get... if I do go for Toxic Spikes, I can go ahead and Toxic Stall for a turn. Finally, his stats, we are running 252 defense, 252 special defense, 4 speed, and then plus defense minus attack, so he's a bold Omastar. Just in the hopes that he does live a hit, I really went back and forth on whether or not to bring him this week, and that's why I chose to bring him as a Focus Ash, because that Conkeldurr puts in a lot of work against him, Jolteon puts in a lot of work against him, Cradily puts a lot of work in against him. Regigigas can put a lot of work in against him. Donphan puts a little work against him. So he doesn't have the most use, but if I can set up the hazards, that's going to be clutch. I would love to see Omastar get kills this week just off of hazards. I don't know if it'll happen. Again, guys, our match comes up in about 50 minutes or so, I'm not going to know what's going to happen. I didn't get nearly as much time to prepare this week, but neither did he. So that's kind of the positive. And like I said, I do have some stuff going on later this week that's kind of going to take my mind off of the draft for a couple of days. So that's why in all honesty, I will probably end up posting this up on Tuesday and posting our battle up Wednesday afternoon. Just for a little bit of continuity. I might post this up on Monday. I don't know. But anyways, guys, that is our team. That is this week's Week 3's Kansas City Cyndaquil's team. We'll see how it goes. Last week I went in a lot more confident, and I actually got some very high praise from my opponent Tops last week, telling me that it was a much closer match than it seemed. There was multiple times that he thought he was losing, so I don't know if he's being generous or if he's being sincere. I think he's being sincere. I hope he's being sincere. But it definitely uplifted my spirits a little bit and gave me a little bit of confidence that I know what I'm doing. I'm learning what I'm doing. So I'm hoping that carries over into this week. I'm hoping that we do a little better. I would love to snag a win, but we are 0-2. I'm fine with that. Like I said, this is a draft league for fun. I could go at the end of the year and be 0-15, and as long as I had fun, I don't care. I do not care. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how this week goes. The nice thing is that I'm going to get a little bit of a break between this week and next week because I'm doing my match so early this week, and next week is probably going to be a little later in the week. And so I can do a little bit of testing around with some stuff this week. I can take care of the stuff that I'm needing to, and then come back at the beginning of next week, middle of next week, and actually kind of hit hard on my Pokemon. Have a week break where I can think about what works and what doesn't work, and kind of test some things out from there. But anyways, guys, I'm going to head on out of here. I have my match in about 50 minutes, and I kind of want to go get something to eat really quick. Just get ready for the day. Anyways, guys, I will see you all later. Peace out.